Law enforcement sources are expecting the feds to widen the Diddy probe to include previous criminal investigations. Now, we know Diddy was criminally investigated regarding that shooting in New York, but I didn't realize the extent of J-Lo's involvement.
J-Lo faces subpoena in Diddy's explosive trial after her messy Ben Affleck divorce. And those mysterious FBI tapes that allegedly destroyed her marriage are about to be exposed in federal court. We're talking about America's sweetheart potentially being dragged from red carpet queen to key witness in a criminal case involving guns, lies, and a 1999 nightclub shooting that sent an innocent rapper to prison for a decade. But before we dive into how Jennifer Lopez went from Jenny from the block to potential federal witness, let me tell you exactly how this connects to her divorce from Ben Affleck.
This man testified. I testified in the criminal trial. This man testified in the criminal trial. People are like, why didn't she speak up then? Why is she saying something now? She want clout. Are you dumb?
Those alleged FBI tapes from Diddy's raids, and why legal experts are saying she could be the prosecution's most explosive witness in the trial of the century. Picture it. Flashing cameras, screaming fans, and a 20-something J-Lo hand in hand with hip-hop's biggest mogul. Their relationship was the hottest headline on earth. Until someone pulled a .40 caliber in Club New York, a woman named Nada Rubin took a bullet to the face, and the fairy tale turned pitch black.
I was defending him, and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me, and he contributed. He pretty much sent me to prison.
Diddy, his bodyguard, and Jennifer were cuffed, marched past paparazzi into a precinct, and then, like magic, she walked free while Sean faced life in prison. 2 decades later, the case refuses to die. New witnesses, new evidence, new political pressure. For the U.S. attorney digging into Diddy's current sex trafficking probe, reopening that nightclub file isn't nostalgia, it's a leverage. If they prove Diddy rigged 1999, a jury will devour everything alleged in 2025. And Jennifer, she could be the linchpin who seals his fate, or her own. Take a breath, because this story rockets from shock to aftermath faster than you can say, let's get loud.
Jennifer Lopez should definitely be charged. Should I keep going?
I mean, you're hitting it off.
A love story written in gunpowder. Diddy and J-Lo weren't just dating. They were a brand, a storm of platinum records and Versace gowns. But inside that whirlwind, prosecutors now claim, was a silent conspiracy. According to leaked affidavits, J-Lo allegedly slipped the handgun into their Lincoln Navigator, then told detectives Diddy had nothing to do with the shooting. One statement, 30 words at most, changed 3 destinies. Diddy walked, Sean vanished into a cell, and Jennifer catapulted from crossover actress to global pop icon. Sean, now the leader of Belize's opposition party, breaks his silence on national TV. Tears glisten as he recalls spending his 20s behind concrete walls while Diddy snagged Grammys and Jennifer danced away beneath fireworks. He demands an apology. He demands justice. The FBI listens. Victim Nada Rubin, her cheeks scarred for life, never stopped pointing the finger. Diddy did it. That single line echoes across every newscast tonight.
J-Lo is just, I don't know. Every man she's been with has said the same thing, except for Diddy. Diddy's the only one that said she was a great girlfriend and how he wish he hadn't messed it up.
But why drag J-Lo back now? Because agents raided Diddy's homes this spring, and insiders swear seized hard drives containing the tapes. raw footage of post-shooting chaos and alleged conversations in which J.Lo admits she knew exactly whose gun it was. If that's true, her 1999 statement morphs from misdirection to perjury, punishable by up to 5 years. And here's the twist that cracks Bennifer wide open. Sources close to Ben Affleck claim he watched those tapes. Minutes later, he packed a suitcase, fled the Beverly Hills Palace, and never looked back. Divorce by discovery. Ben always hated Hollywood's flashbulbs. He battled addiction, clawed through rehab, and longed for quiet mornings with black coffee, not TMZ vans. But he loved Jennifer until the FBI's trove allegedly played on a private laptop. Imagine the scene. Their mansion's home theater, curtains drawn, agent's seal still crisp on a thumb drive. The screen flickers.
About the documentaries and stuff like that that have been put out about him and some of the allegations against him, and people essentially co-signing on what he's being accused of because they're highlighting his behavior.
J.Lo's younger self appears, frantic, whispering to Diddy's bodyguard. A metallic glint, maybe the gun, and then, "We gotta get rid of this." All caps reality. Check. What would you do if you saw the person you love hiding a felony? Friends say Ben's face turned to stone. He confronted her. She insisted it was a youthful panic. He asked why she never told him. She wept. He left. And Hollywood's most viral power couple, 2.0 edition, crumbled overnight. But let's widen the lens. Jaguar's right industry firebrand insists J.Lo married Diddy in secret during the shooting scandal, so prosecutors couldn't force her to testify. If true, that marriage, its records allegedly buried, means her silence wasn't just voluntary, it was protected. Lawyers call that obstruction, juries call it shady, and gossip sites call it click gold. Before we plunge any deeper, jump into the comments and sound off. Did Ben Affleck abandon Jennifer because of loyalty to truth or fear of being dragged into a federal circus? I'm scanning every response. Drop those thoughts now and let's hash it out together.
Well, she deserves it. She's one of the flyest out there.
Yeah, well, she thinks that of you too. She
Yeah.
named you one of the great loves of her life.
Yeah,
Was
without
she
a doubt.
one of yours too?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Inside Diddy's freak off nights. The reopened probe isn't only about a single gunshot. Former backup singer Misha claims J.Lo attended Diddy's legendary freak off parties, describing rooms where phones were confiscated and secrecy was currency. She alleges Jennifer danced in masked circles of executives, models, and politicians, all watched by men with NDAs thicker than phone books. Well, Johnny Noah, J.Lo's first husband, backs her up, insisting he was threatened when he tried to publish a tell-all about those nights. He describes a hidden world of perverse initiation games, suggesting J.Lo wasn't a bystander but a willing participant. Maybe that's bitterness talking, but federal agents treat every rumor like a breadcrumb. But it gets worse. Court insiders whisper that Diddy's attorneys are preparing to blame everything, gun, bribes, intimidation, on underlings. If they can prove Jennifer transported the weapon, they'll argue she acted alone, out of panic, throwing him under the bus to save herself. It's a scorched earth tactic. And Jennifer's team knows it. They're privately rehearsing two options. One, fight the subpoena, citing harassment, or two, cooperate, flip on Diddy, and negotiate immunity. The cost of silence. Think about the stakes. Jennifer Lopez isn't just a superstar, she's an enterprise. A billion-dollar brand across music, film, beauty, apparel, and real estate. Las Vegas residencies, a rumored second Super Bowl booking, Spanish language streaming deals, all of it hinges on public affection. If she's indicted for perjury or conspiracy, Corporate partners will vanish faster than you can say Jenny from the block. Even This Is Me Now, her deeply personal documentary, is tanking. Critics brush it off as vanity. Fans suspect darker distractions. Streaming numbers stumble below projections. And as the divorce headlines multiply, so do memes. TikTok teens splice footage of broken Jennifer moments with ominous 1999 news clips. Has a reputation ever melted so fast? Meanwhile, Nada Rubin prepares a civil suit worth tens of millions, pointing at J-Lo as well as Diddy. Her lawyers argue that if Jennifer lied in '99, she became complicit in a cover-up that robbed Rubin of justice and medical restitution. One legal analyst put it bluntly, if Lopez smuggled the firearm, she shot that bullet just as surely as Diddy did. Those words are brutal, but a jury could buy them.
Federal prosecutors allege Combs used his power and wealth to coerce and exploit alleged victims for decades. If convicted, Combs would be spending the rest of his life.
You won't believe what happened next. Shine, returning to New York for meetings at the United Nations, records a podcast saying he'll testify without fear if the U.S. attorney calls. He hints at a letter he once sent Jennifer, begging her to tell the truth before sentencing. She never replied. The letter, if found, could become Exhibit A, proof she knew he was innocent and chose silence. At the same time, paparazzi catch Jennifer clutching a rosary outside St. Augustine's Church in Los Angeles. She mouths, "Pray for me," to a bystander. Across town, Ben is photographed laughing with Matt Damon. No ring, no worries. The contrast is savage. Meanwhile, Vogue pulls Jennifer's July cover, a done deal shoot, citing timing conflicts. Translation, they won't gamble on a possible felon. Her perfume line's Instagram comment section clogs with an emojis. Brand managers panic.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time.
Conspiracy, karma, or both. Fans split into camps. Number Free J-Lo versus Lock Her Up. One side argues she was manipulated by a powerful boyfriend in a misogynistic industry. The other says she built her empire on a lie and it's time to pay the bill. Twitter spaces rage at 2 a.m., dissecting ballistic angles and marriage licenses like amateur CSI labs. Legal experts remind us perjury must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Even if the tapes exist, defense attorneys will attack authenticity, chain of custody, context. But prosecutors have new tech, AI lip reading, audio enhancement that can salvage grainy footage. And grand juries are notoriously skeptical of celebrity privilege.
One person who was always anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent.
He would do a lot of foul shit. Like behind the scenes, he would do some foul shit. Like
Cross-examination of a life. Imagine the courtroom day. Jennifer in tailored white Dior, symbolic of innocence. Prosecutor slams a VHS into a screen. Grainy footage of Club New York's back corridor. The jury leans forward. We see a young J-Lo rummage in her purse, slip an object to a bodyguard. Freeze frame, zoom. The silhouette of a handgun barrel glimmers. Prosecutor turns, locks eyes with the jury. Recognize that, Ms. Lopez? Her voice may quiver. Her empire may tremble. But she'll choose truth, half-truth, or total denial. Each option rewrites her legacy. And somewhere in the gallery, Ben might watch, jaw clenched, wondering whether the woman he proposed to on a snowy night chose fame over freedom long before he entered the picture. Now it's your turn again. Scroll down and tell me, if the subpoena arrives tomorrow, should J-Lo cut a deal and testify, or gamble everything on public sympathy? I'm pinning the spiciest takes, so don't hold back.
Who figures out how to compromise everybody by providing this crazy freak-off party. Everybody's got to put their phones away.
Isn't there a video with Kamala?
Final descent of the roller coaster sources inside the U.S. Attorney's Office hint a decision could drop within days. Diddy's lawyers beg for delays. Federal agents refuse. Jennifer's camp scrambles to vet crisis PR firms that specialize in reputation triage. And Hollywood braces for a summer of subpoenas, each one a potential nuclear blast across the industry. We began with a title loaded like a headline grenade. J-Lo faces subpoena in Diddy trial after Ben Affleck divorce. FBI tapes exposed. Tonight you felt the shrapnel. Shattered marriage, resurrected gunshot, billion-dollar brands teetering, and a superstar learning the hard way that secrets age like milk. Stay locked in, because I'll be right here the second those documents hit the docket. Until then, keep questioning the picture. Perfect stories, fame sells you. And remember, truth never returns to the shadows once the spotlight hits. See you in the next one.